Hey guys, so I want to make a real quick video on how to replace a chain on a chainsaw. Now we're not going to be replacing the bar itself this time because this bar is still pretty good, but the process is basically the same, as you'll understand when we get to that point. This is one of them videos where, if you're one of my subscribers, chances are you're probably like, oh, I've done this a million times, or you came to this from a search because you don't know how to do it and you're trying to learn how to do it. I'm trying to concentrate on more simple videos like this, and I thought this might be a good one to make, and I need to put a new chain on it, so I figured why not make a quick video. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I do small engine repair, lawnmower repair, chainsaw, blowers, like any type of lawn equipment, and do electrical videos. And here lately I've been doing a lot of guitar repair and modification and build videos, so a little bit of everything on the channel. Alright, so the first thing you want to do, your chainsaw should have came with a scrinch. This is called a scrinch. It's a screwdriver and wrench combo. This is for our Stihl weed eater. Now I'm using a Stihl MS-170 as an example, but it's basically going to be the same on any chainsaw pretty much. You always have usually two nuts right here you got to really take loose. And this one's got the chain tensioner adjustment right here. See, it's just a flathead screw goes on there. So you always want to loosen your chain. I like to do that first before you take the cover off, just to make things have a little bit of slop and everything, so it makes it easier. Some chainsaws will have an adjustment here, like this, or up here somewhere, and it's way easier if yours is like that. And you want to do this when the chainsaw's cool, not directly after use, because all this is going to be extremely hot. You don't want to get burnt. And I can't stress enough how much to be careful with the chainsaw, especially when changing the chain. It's so easy to get sharp. Even on the old chain, when it's dull, it's still sharp enough to cut your skin. So don't lose these. You can buy them, but so your cover will come off. Now, every chainsaw is different. This one's got the brake mechanism built in back here. Most of the time, this handle is going to come off too, or be connected somehow. But this is one of the rare ones that just come off like this. It's actually way easier to get to on this, but your process is the same. So once you get your everything loose in here, it's easier just to take the bar off. This is what I was talking about when you're going to be replacing the bar. You pretty much follow the same video to do that as well. So take your old chain. This has been sharpened several times and it's cutting crooked and overheated because I kept cutting when it was dull. So this chain is junk. If you got a bucket of scrap metal parts and stuff, toss it in there and they've hauled in for scrap metal. Get your new chain. Now you want to match up your chain. That's going to be a critical step. You got several things that you have to look for. This particular one is a Stihl for a Stihl. If you look on here, it's got MS-170 somewhere on here. Right there, MS-170. So you just want to make sure you get the right thing. A lot of your factory bar will have your specs on here, and you can look it up and see. It'll have the, this is the common specs you'll need, is the pitch. This one's 3/8. The gauge, which is the width in between the bar here that the teeth fit in, and how many drive links there is. This case has 55 links, and what file size it is, which is not critical for the actual saw, but you want to make sure you got the file in hand to sharpen it. So get your new chain, and again, be careful not to get cut. And I hate when this happens, and it seems like it always happens. It's almost like a certain skill you got to have to untangle a chain like this when they do this, and sometimes you make it worse trying to do it and you start chasing it. Some people say, oh, there's a certain technique you got to use to untangle it. I haven't been able to find it. There we go. It wasn't too bad. Now, some people recommend taking your new chain like this and soaking it in oil, like motor oil, like just for like an hour or so, and that gets all the oil down into all the pivot points where the chain flexes. I don't think it's really necessary. Most of them are pre-lubed from the factory, so you don't really have to do that so much. Another thing I'm going to say before I get distracted and forget, I highly recommend this brand if you can find it anywhere, Trilink. I'm not sponsored or affiliated or anything. These chains hold up better than any chain I've ever had, so highly recommend that, even above like Steel brand chains. This is also a good time to clean your saw up a little bit, which I'm not going to do too much right now because this is not really bad, even though it looks pretty bad. If you just spray everything down with like brake parts cleaner or carburetor cleaner, just wipe it off while it's still wet, and that's about all you need to do. It don't have to be perfect. Also, if you're putting a new bar on, it's recommended to inject grease into this hole right here and spin this a little bit. There's a bearing in here. While it gets oil from the bar oil on the chain, it's usually dry from the factory, and it's best to throw a little bit of grease in there. Or you can just take the whole tip of this and submerge it in oil, especially if you're soaking the chain. It'd be a good time to do that. So you're going to get your chain started on here. Now, some saws, it's easier to put the chain on back here first, because this part of the clutch may be on like the outside part or part of the chain brake. So it depends on how your saw is. You may not be able to put it all the way on the bar like this. And you want to make sure you put the chain on the right way. You see the teeth are pointing towards this way on the top and pointing this way towards the bottom. That's what you want. The chain moves like this. That's the direction it moves. So you got to make sure the cutting edge is facing the saw on the bottom. So you get your teeth lined up on the cog here. You may have to adjust the adjustment screw to get it to line up right. Because your new chain is going to be a little bit shorter than your old chain because they get hot and stretch. I'm trying to see where it's at. Yeah, it's all the way over there. Or if you switch brands, it may be made slightly different. And if you look right here, the pin is sticking through here. That's from the adjustment. This moves back and forth to adjust the tension on the bar. You see we have considerable slack in the chain. And we'll go ahead and tighten it up just a little bit. Just as a preliminary adjustment. Just to get a little bit of the slack out. Now you're ready to put your cover back on. Good time to double check that you get the chain on correctly. And again, if your blade brake system comes off with this, make sure it's disengaged because you'll be fighting with it. And the cover's going to try to go crooked and everything. I wish they made them all like this. It's way easier to change. I wish I had another one handy set up the other way to show you, but I'll make another video on it later on. Now you don't want to tighten these all the way yet. So if you tighten these, you won't be able to adjust the chain tension. And everybody's got their own method for adjusting chain tension. I like to turn it until the slack comes out. And you'll see the bar raise up just a tiny bit. See there? Well, if you can't move it, this is another time you got to be careful. It's very easy to slip and get cut. Go ahead and loosen it just a little bit. See, that's too loose. Actually, this adjustment's bent on this one, so you don't have to mess with it. That's usually about what you want, just a little bit of slack, like that. So now we're going to tighten these down. Don't have to be super tight. Easy to strip something like this out. Now, sometimes it'll tighten up further than this one did. As long as it'll move, you're usually good. This may be a little too tight. Okay, so before you tighten it, you want to make sure that you put the chain on wrong. And I told you wrong. You want the teeth pointing this way on the top and this way on the bottom, and I put it on backwards. So now we got to take it back off and loosen this up again. I'm going to let y'all in on a little secret. I had the whole video recorded, and I got thinking about it. I remember the teeth facing this way on the top. I was rushing around trying to make it, and I put the chain on backwards. Get down there, double check. Sure enough. So you put it on backwards. It's not that big of a deal. You need to just flip the whole bar. I'm trying to keep this one the same. Just flip it over. Get back on the bar. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put this clip right in the middle of this video. The rest of the video is going to be with the chain on the wrong way, because I'm not going to redo all of it. So we're going to pick back up from the clip with the chain on the wrong way. I just want to make a note that I did catch it, and I didn't want to guide you all wrong. And make sure the point is facing that way, because the chain moves like this, so it cuts in that direction, and it cuts down here on the backstroke going that way. So that's all you got to do to fix that if you put it on backwards. Very common, very easy to do. There's no harm done. And if you try to cut with it, it's not going to cut. And if you do it too long, it's going to overheat the chain. So you just got to kind of watch what you're doing. So it's just about where it needs to be. Alright, so proceed with the rest of the video and just overlook the fact that I put the chain on backwards. Now I'm going to start the saw up, let it run wide open. A lot of people go ahead and start cutting with it, and that's where you mess up. So I highly recommend start it up and let it run for just a couple minutes, about a minute probably. Then shut it off, let it cool if it's hot, then readjust the chain tension. This is also a good time to check, make sure your chain is oiling. So if you look, when I'm doing this, when it's running, you should see a line of oil come off the chain. Alright, so now it's loosened up to about where it should be now. But you always want to check it, because you never know. Some brands of chains will stretch more than others. These seem to be really good. And it's oiling good. You've seen all that oil sling off the bar. So you know it's getting plenty of oil to that chain. If you don't see no oil, make sure you got oil in it. Make sure your pump and filter and everything's good. So this is pretty warm now from the friction. This is about what it should be. Just a little bit. It's still on a little snug side. Usually you'll have to adjust it again, but you know, cut a few slabs, then come back and check it again. Because what happens if it loosens up, that's when you start getting a crooked cut and it starts wearing the bar uneven and everything. So there's a few things to watch out for. So, alright guys, it's all ready to go. Again, highly recommend checking out these. They're cheap too. This 2-pack was 20 bucks for 2 of them. And the other sizes are about the same price, if not the same. Highly recommended to get that. And this is a good little saw. Only one thing I don't like about this saw, and ain't just this one, it's a lot of steel saws, there's no primer button. So you heard me try to start, it took about 6 pulls to get it to start. Whereas it might be 1 or 2 pulls if it had a primer button. But other than that, it's a real good saw. Don't have no complaints out of it. So, alright guys, so the video's longer than it needed to be. So Thanks for watching. If you got any questions or comments, leave it below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. So, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one.